What up, though? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Full Metal Analysis. I'm your boy, Bruce Diggy. Got my homeboy, MJ Marcus over there. What's going on, Marcus?
Oh man, chilling. Like you said, ready for another week of football. Real quick, shout out to the Detroit Tigers. One game back from making the playoffs.
Yeah, man. Week four of football, man. We going into it, but first off, man, we got a ton of injuries this week to talk about, man. Defenses. Um, we got Frank Ragnar down. Uh, um, but I heard that with Frank Ragnar that we got a backup center that might be able to hold his own, in place of him. Guy that took over for him last year in the San Francisco game in the playoffs. They said he's pretty decent.
I'm assuming you're talking about the dude with the African name. That was the only guy I know that kind of played. I was looking at the injury report, and yeah, Ragnow and Iffy were the only two people who didn't participate in practice. Other than that, everybody was either fully practiced or was limited. I think we only had like one player limited, and that was Rakestraw was limited, but everybody else practiced full. So, um,
Barnes is out, isn't he?
yeah, Barnes is out. Yeah,
Okay.
Barnes. They moved Barnes and Davenport to the injured reserve list.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So
go ahead.
so with Barnes out, I was hearing some mentionings of them changing the defense up because the linebackers that we have, they said our defense was kind of tailored around what Barnes can do, and Campbell and Anzalone don't really have that side to side play that Barnes had. What do you think about them? Adjusting the defense. Do you think Aaron Glenn adjust the defense due to injuries this week?
Uh, do I think he'll do it? No. And do I think he should do it? No. I was looking at some numbers for this game, and the Lions are one of the best teams in the NFL that's stopping the run. So, that's huge. Now they are about average or maybe a little below. Well, they're really like right there in the middle. Like the best team was at like 400 yards. The worst team was at 900 yards, and the Lions was like right there, allowing 700 yards through the air per game. So Barnes was not a great cover guy. So and that's what you really got to look out for against Seattle because like you said, I know you said you're not really worried about the run, and we don't even know if Kenneth Walker is even playing. I'm definitely not worried about Zach Charbonneau. I'm not really impressed with him at all. So, assuming Kenneth Walker does play, stopping the run is going to be my main focus point for that defense.
Yeah, they main weapons are definitely Kenneth Walker and DJ Metcalf. Um, Sirianni has been holding his own. I don't know if it's going to be Tyrion or Davis playing against Metcalf, but those are going to be key key factors. Um, I think with the injuries, my main concern is going to be Davenport being out. With Davenport being out, we got uh, James Houston and Pascal that could step up and take over on that side. Barring the Detroit making a move like going out to get Max Crosby or another available DN. I think that's the major hit we took on defense, right? With Anzalone and Brian Branch coming back from concussion protocol, uh, do you think those two have what it takes to step up, or is there a game plan out there that Brad Helms goes and makes a major move and gets another DN?
Yeah, you know, I think it's the Brad Holmes special. I want McDonald's. No, we got McDonald's at home. uh, I would love Max Crosby. I would love Max Crosby. Max Crosby would be the Rasheed Wallace trade to the Pistons. It would be so huge if the Lions went out and got Max Crosby. I would be leading the charge for the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it would take like weeks, plural, of this line just being a glaring problem with this team. We know what Hutch is going to do. We're going to see more coverage go towards Hutch's way. So going forward, if Hutch's numbers start to dip drastically, and we got Reader, we got McNeil, but yeah, like we said, that other side, Pascal is cool. I just think there are so many Pascals in the league. I don't think there's anything outstanding about Pascal. I don't even think the ceiling is that high for him to be like a, I don't think that the ceiling is. I don't think the ceiling is going to rise that much. So I think he is what he is. He's a good player and he comes through plays from time to time, but consistently he's not showing up every game. And then James Houston, I think I'm kind of off the James Houston bandwagon. I think we haven't seen him, whether it be the injury, whether it be the coach's decision. And personally, I feel like every time I see him on the field, he'll be out there for about 5 plays, and it's like every 5 plays he's good for a late hit, roughing the passer. That's the only thing I feel like James Houston is really dependable for is a penalty.
I'm not gonna say I'm out on James Houston, man. Like you said, we did see that spark he had that first season he was in. I don't expect us to get back there, but I don't know what's going on with James Houston. Maybe it's a mental thing. I mean, as of right now, the coaches seem like I mean, the way they're talking, they seem like they're in your book, like they're out on them. But if this guy can find that chip that he had that first season, we know it's there. He's just gotta get past whatever's holding him back, and maybe he can aspire to be that third down guy. You know what I'm saying? When and who strictly rushes the passer on third down, and maybe we can get that spark back on third down. As far as Pascal goes, man, yeah, he hasn't lived up to the potential. He's had flashes. I don't think it's his talent that's holding him back. He's one of those guys that stays injured. Um, he's always injured all the time. I think if we get a healthy Pascal, then we'll see more of those flashes. Maybe they will become a more consistent thing, but it's all about keeping them healthy.
One thing I can say, while I was diving into the Lions injury report, I figured why not look at the Seahawks. And going into this game, I thought like, man, the Lions are banged up, but man, the Seahawks are banged up. I just had it pulled up. Okay, yeah. He's tied for the team, but they're well, you say He's their leading the team leader in sacks are Boye Mafe and Derek Hall. Derek Hall seems fine, but Mafe did not practice, so it seems like he's not going to be able to play in the game. They're also without, or I should say, that also did not practice was they got two linebackers that didn't practice. Leonard Williams, a defensive end. Byron Murphy, he's pretty good. D tackle, he did not practice, and another linebacker, Uchenna Nwasu. That sounds familiar, but I couldn't tell you how good he is. But their linebackers are not doing well at all. They had another linebacker who was limited. Like I said, Kenneth Walker limited. Noah Fant, he's an underrated player in their offense. Tight end Noah Fant, he was limited. Full participants. You said DK Metcalf and Kenneth Walker are their main guys, but can't never sleep on Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett is the new version of Deshaun Jackson. He's liable to break you off for a big play any game. He could go one game with like one catch and 9 yards, and he can go the next game with like 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like Tyler Lockett is a enigma. And then they got the young guy, Jackson Smith and Jigba. He had like 9 catches last week, I want to say. So they offense is formidable. Like I was saying, that the Lions are great at stopping the run. Top 5 team at stopping the run. But as far as stopping the pass, they leave a little bit to be desired. And at the same time, Terrion got to work on these pass interference calls. Geno Smith is a high IQ player. He's gonna. We've been seeing players try to bait Terrion into these pass interferences, so they working on that right now. But yeah, man, the injury report it kind of I think it balances out. If not, the Lions are actually favored when it comes to the injury report, so that's good news.
Yeah, that is good news. Speaking of our secondary, I do think that Terrion, as he goes along, I think he'll learn as the season goes along. Hopefully, he's learning more and more. I seen him towards the end of that game last week. It was a couple of plays they tried to bait him, and he didn't fall for it. So I'm not saying that he's totally over it, but I think he recognizes that teams are targeting him and they're ready to. And he's starting to catch on. But on the other side, man, I've been hearing a lot of murmurs and talk about oh Davis is horrible. Oh, he's horrible. I mean, he's better than Sutton, but he makes so many mistakes. What are your thoughts on Carlton Davis?
If somebody told me Carlton Davis was horrible, then I would lose respect for their football IQ.
Well, not not horrible, but they say he's making a lot of mistakes and he's giving up a lot of players on the other side, and they were kind of worried about it.
Mm. Yeah, no, I got nothing for that. Or I should say, I haven't felt anything like that. I was as soon as he came to the team, his interview, and his press conference coming in, I was looking at this guy like, I hope this guy is better on the field than he is talking to the media. But no, ever since he stepped foot on the field, that dude's been nothing but professional. Listening to him talk after the games, they was really talking to him going into that Tampa Bay game just based off of him have played there, and all of his answers was professional and everything he did on the field. I've seen him get away with a call here or there, but even talking about giving advice to Rakestraw and Arnold, just trying to give them the knowledge. Some guys, you listen to some guys talking, they kind of, I don't want to say shy away from it, but he seems like, hey, he embraces that. I'm honestly, that was a trade, right? That we got Carlton Davis?
Uh, I don't think it was a trade. I think that Tampa Bay released him and we picked him up.
No, it was a trade because I remember me and you was talking about his contract and if they was gonna honor his contract or extend it because he had so many years left on it. But with that being said, though, I would have to say that this is you could correct me if you could think of one better, but I think this has been the best trade that Brad Holmes has made since he's been here.
Matt Stafford.
Yeah, no, that you're right. I mean, for the worth of it, that was a great trade. But I would say that that was kind of like LA was like banging on the door, like like please take Jared Goff and all of our picks, please. So it was like he kind of had to answer his phone, you know what I mean? But he didn't
Right.
really identify, and that was his old. But I see what you're saying. No, for value, no, you're right. That was more of a valuable trade. But as far as like wheeling and dealing, seeing maybe what somebody else didn't see, I really love this trade.
Yeah, man. Well, going over with you going over the injury part, I feel a lot better about about the injuries I had. I hadn't heard anything about McNeil, so with him back on the field, I feel a little bit more confident. Um, Hopefully, we just get somebody to step up on that DN side, and we'll see who steps up to take Barnes' place. Um, I'm assuming it's going to be either between Campbell and Rodriguez. But yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. And we missed we got lucky. They were talking about at first they were thinking that Sam Laporta had a high ankle sprain and ended up being a low ankle sprain. So he'll be back out on the field. Um, but it's gonna be an interesting game, man. I was going back on and forth on this game, but we can get into that part on bet it up.
All right.
But speaking of speaking of injuries, man, Michael Parsons uh, went out um, with injury in last night's game, and they said he's going to be out for at least 2 to 3 weeks. You know, we play after the bye. They're our first game of the season, so Michael Parsons may miss that game. And also with their other DN on the other side, heard he was hurt. He was hurt and out as well, and he'll be out for 2 weeks. So I mean, I never wish injury on anybody, but that might play in our favor as far as going up against the Cowboys in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I, I like Micah Parsons and I respect him and he's definitely one of the best defensive players in the game right now, easily. But whatever it is, man, like Panay Sewell going against Micah Parsons is just Panay Sewell brings it every game, but when he goes against Parsons, he just turns it up a little bit more. And last year Parsons really didn't have much of an impact in that game, and because of Panay Sewell, on the other side, like you said, Demarcus Demarcus Lawrence, he's out. I don't know what's going on with him, but if he doesn't play either, that would be big. And then Dallas is just out of sorts right now. So it is a few weeks away, and they still haven't even figured out their running game. They got a lot going on, but yeah, that game. I'm more worried about this game than that game. Just because Seattle is just a much better team. So if we could take care of Seattle, then I definitely won't be worried about Dallas.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I just thought I mentioned it since it happened last night. Yeah, man, we can get it bet it up though.
All right. Yeah. Speaking of last night, yeah, that's cool because the line was 5, and Dallas ended up winning by 5. So that game was neither here nor there. I'm gonna be honest, I was tired. I fell asleep. I saw like the first 5-10 minutes of the game, and Um, Not a whole lot to say about the Giants. Malik Neighbors had a great game, but he left with a concussion. And Dallas came into New York and won. I mean, that's kind of what they do.
Yeah, man. I gotta say, man, you didn't miss anything. I stayed up until about the fourth quarter watching that game, and it might be one of the boringest games I've seen this season. Um, it was not interesting at all. Never waste your time watching the Giants. Um, every time they drove downfield, my cousin was like, "See, they're not that bad," and I was like, "Watch they kick a field goal." I think they ended up kicking like 4 or 5 field goals that game last night.
Yeah.
Never did I feel like Dallas was going to lose that game, even in spite of them not playing that great either. You know what I'm saying? It just you made the right choice going to sleep. I should have went to sleep, but I would have picked. I don't know if we did that game. I probably would have. I would have picked the Cowboys because you never picked the Giants. I don't care how many people say Neighbors is the next big thing in this league. He plays for the Giants.
Yeah, you never picked the Giants, but yeah, like I said, the line was 5, so it was a push, so it wouldn't have made a difference. Um, Give me 1 second. So I got you. So first game we got is Minnesota at Green Bay. Minnesota is getting 2.5.
Oh man. So this was a tough game. I've been standing on the thing that Minnesota is frauds and that that they're gonna eventually lose, but they've been proving me wrong, man. Everything that they've been doing says that you should pick them because they're hot right now. But I'm gonna stand on what I've been saying. I think Green Bay is the better team. Now I heard that Jordan Love had limited practice, and I'm not sure if it's gonna be Jordan Love or Malik Willis playing. I will say this: if Jordan Love plays, I'm gonna go with Minnesota. Jordan Love has been out of it for a couple of weeks. He didn't really play all that great the first game of the season. It's gonna take him a minute to get back to where he was last season. So if he plays, then Green Bay loses this game. But if Malik Willis plays, I'm gonna take Green Bay.
Wow.
Right, right,
That's not what I
right.
thought you were gonna say. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take Minnesota. Um, Minnesota has just been on the tear. Like you said, Green Bay, we don't know who's starting at quarterback, but and Malik Willis has done a great job. But Minnesota's defense is really good, and I can't say that Green Bay has played anybody who has a defense that's worthwhile. So I'm on Minnesota on that one. Next up, we got Denver going to the Jets.
Um, Denver had a real good game last week, man. And I said I gotta apologize to Denver. I called them extremely average last week. I guess they must have heard me and they went on ahead and blew out. I forgot who they played last week, but they blew them out. They blew them out the water. They look really good. Bo Nix look good, but I don't think they maintain that. Aaron Rodgers has been looking pretty good. Um, if he can keep up what he's been doing the last couple of games, I think they beat Denver. Oh,
Um,
oh, they got they got a they giving up 7.5.
yeah, Jets give it 7.5.
Ooh, ooh. I might have to take that 7.5, man.
Yeah, if
I
you
might have to
do,
take that 7.5.
yeah, if you do, I don't blame you. I'm gonna take the 7.5. I think Denver's defense is is coming to their own. I think they're coming into their own, and the Jets haven't shown aptitude of being a great offensive team. They want to be, and they can be, they could be, but I'm gonna take, I'm gonna take Denver and my boy Bo Nix.
I'm gonna say the Jets are gonna win, but I'm gonna take Denver with the 7.5.
All right. New Orleans is going into Atlanta. Atlanta is giving 3.
Oh wow. Um, um, I'm they gave 11-3.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I'm gonna go with New Orleans. I'm gonna go with New Orleans. New Orleans looked good the first two games of the season. They slipped up last week, but Atlanta's been real iffy. They the only time that I've seen them look good is that last quarter of against Philly. Um, I'm gonna go with New Orleans. I think they get back on track and they win this game. Alvin Kamara's been running his ass off. Um, I think Olave has been lights out. I think New Orleans wins this game.
Olave been okay, but but they got I'm I'm just away because yeah, I'm taking New Orleans as well. Their defense is pretty good, and I think they'll be able to get to Kirk Cousins, put some pressure on them. Like you said, Atlanta has been playing good, and they are at home, but I think New Orleans goes in and gets back right, especially in a division game. Philadelphia going to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is getting 2 at home.
um, I think Tampa Bay stepped up to play us. But even in that game, we were getting yards on them and moving up and down the field like at will. We just I think that was more of us not executing more so than them winning. And Saquon Barkley has been going crazy. Um, I think Philly takes this game. Do you
I'm
know
with
if
you.
Brown is playing? You know if
Don't
AJ Brown
know.
is playing?
I don't know if he's playing. I doubt Devontae Smith is playing either. I think he's in concussion protocol. So that makes it tough.
Either way, I'm
But
still picking Philly.
yeah, I'm with you as well. The Lions move the ball pretty well against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is getting points at home. You know, you never want to see that. So Philly right now is it seems like they're kind of getting together. You hate to see them without their receivers, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm on Philly as well. Cincinnati is going to Carolina. Carolina getting 4.5 at home.
Okay, so this is a weird game because Carolina went Carolina had a really good game last week um, with Andy Dalton stepping up to play, but history says that you should pick Cincinnati as well as Carolina played last week. The 2 weeks before that, they played really really bad, um, and Cincinnati has gone 0-3. It's hard for me to see them going 0-4. And I think they're really gonna be pissed off. I think they're really pissed off about the way they've been playing. I think that they step up and win this game, even with Joe Burrow having his tips frosted.
Real quick, if Cincinnati goes 0-4, does anything happen?
As far as
The team reaction is there any type of does anything happen out of is there any reaction by the team or do they just go out there and play week 5 business as usual?
no, no, no. You can see the frustration from Jamar Chase and all the players on that team. They don't believe that they should be 0-3 like at all, and I think tensions are rising amongst that team. We saw Jamar Chase show out in that one game, and I think the more they lose, the more his divahood shows out. Um, uh, Joe Burrow's Joe Burrow is having. I think he's gonna have a lot of trouble keeping that team together. People might tell him to dye his hair back. Uh, I, I think it'll be a lot of controversy in Cincinnati if they lose that game.
I'm taking Cincinnati. Uh, Carolina did play well last year, but it is still Carolina. Uh, Cincinnati's 0-3. T. Higgins came back last week, and people were horribly disappointed in him. I just chalked that up to him holding out, him being hurt in his first game back. So now he's got a week of practice underneath him, and this is the real this should be the real opportunity for them to show who they are. And if they lose to Carolina, that will be a very loud statement on who they are. Jacksonville is going to Houston. Houston is giving six.
Yeah, man. Houston came out, and I don't know what was wrong with them last week, man. I fully expected them to have a better game than what they did. I don't know if it was because Joe Mixon didn't play, but uh, Jacksonville has looked horrible. Um, they've looked really bad this year. The way they're on track to go, they might not even make the playoffs this year. Um, Houston, on the other hand, despite them having one a bad game last week, they are a great team, and I think that they blow out Jacksonville.
If Cincinnati loses, they would be 0-4, and I wouldn't be surprised if they fired that coach down there. But if Jacksonville loses, as I expect them to lose, I think Doug Peterson is out of there. I've never seen a team on Monday Night Football um, look so unprepared, overwhelmed. Trevor Lawrence, I've never seen such a high profile quarterback look like it was his first game ever playing football. Jacksonville looks terrible right now. I don't even really need to say anything about Houston. So by that, yeah, I'm definitely taking Houston.
Neil Rule on World Sports asked an interesting question. I just want to know what you feel about it. Uh, is Trevor Lawrence a bust?
No, he's not a bust. He's not good, but he's done enough. He's done. You really don't even have to do that much to avoid being a bust. But he's done enough. He's won a playoff game, so I wouldn't call him a bust. But some people will call Tim Tebow a bust. I feel like I wouldn't call Tim Tebow a bust either, though. So my definition might be different from others. What's your take?
I think I wouldn't call him a bust either. He's a viable quarterback in the league. He's not horrible. Is he going to win you that clutch game? I wouldn't depend on it. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, if all the chips are down and you need him to come through and make that play for you, that's not your guy. So I'm with you. I wouldn't call him a bust, but like you said, he's not good either.
I think under the I think that he has room. He's shown flashes where I think if he was under the right, if he was in the right system, I think he would look a whole lot better. But I mean, he got drafted to Jacksonville. It happens to the best of them.
Like you
Uh,
said, you mentioned that You mentioned that he won a playoff game, and my question on the other end of that is Justin Herbert has been underwhelming as well. Is it that he won that playoff game, or Justin Herbert messed it up?
People put that on Justin Herbert. See, I put that. Trevor Lawrence went out there and threw like 3 picks in the first half. Now, if Justin Herbert went out there and threw 3 picks in the second half, then I would say that Justin Herbert messed that game up. But he just the Chargers just didn't do anything in that game, and they just kept finding ways to get the ball back and score. And Trevor Lawrence was leading that charge, so it was more so just the Chargers just stalled, and the Chargers as a team choked. People still waiting on Justin Herbert to win something. But again, I always go back to Peyton Manning. How long did it take for Peyton Manning to constantly put up? Peyton Manning constantly put up numbers during the regular season, and then come playoff times, he always found a way to choke. So I would say that more so, just Trevor Lawrence was actually. I give that to Trevor Lawrence. He went out there and he made it harder on himself, but in the end, he did will his team back. But it was a battle of two quarterbacks who seemed to not be able to get out their own way. With that being said, we got Pittsburgh going into Indianapolis. Indianapolis at home getting 2.5.
Well, you know the saying, never bet against Mike Tomlinson. Um, I would go with I would have went with Pittsburgh anyway. Just on the fact of how iffy Indianapolis has been playing. You never know what you're gonna get from them. Uh, Anthony Richardson has flashes. He's another quarterback that looks good from time to time, and then the other time, half of the time, he looks bad. So yeah, well, going going up against Pittsburgh's defense and T.J. Watt on his ass, I think that he'll throw a couple of picks and Pittsburgh will pull that game out.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league at taking care of the ball. Um, he's only been in the league for a little bit, but in the time he's been here, he's been shown to be injury prone. Pittsburgh is definitely going to touch him up. So yeah, I gotta. Oh yeah, don't bet against Mike Tomlin. So yeah, I'm on Pittsburgh as well. The Rams are going to Chicago. Chicago giving 3.
Uh, I feel like the Rams felt like no, they needed a handicap to play the Chicago Bears, so they got rid of all their receivers and just said, let's see if we can beat them without all our receivers. But they had a hell of a game against San Francisco last night. Last week. And if they play like that again, despite Chicago's defense, I think they'll win that game because Chicago's offense has looked um, really bad.
Oh man, I really hate to do it, but I'm gonna take Chicago. Like you said, the Rams did everything in their power. They God, it was like God came down from the sky and took over Kyrie Williams. And they will, and the whole team willed them to a victory. On the flip side, talking about teams collapsing, San Francisco seemed to collapse and gave up that lead. It was a very exciting game, though. Um, but I'm gonna take Chicago. The Rams have the worst defense in the league when it comes to yards. They give up the most yards in football, and Chicago has an offense that hasn't gotten off the ground. But maybe, um, maybe the Rams defense coming into town is going to be the cure, or at least a taste of what their offense could look like. I think Keenan Allen is playing, so they'll be with all their receivers for the first time since week 1. And also the Bears defense, like you said, is good. Their coach is a defensive-minded coach, and I think they'll be able to put some pressure on Stafford, and they'll definitely, I assume, their number one bullet point is going to be to take away Kyron Williams. So I don't think he'll come away with 3 touchdowns against Chicago. We got Washington going to Arizona. Arizona is giving 3.5.
This is an interesting game. Uh, Jaden Daniels looked really good this past game against Cincinnati. I didn't think that they would be able to pull that game out. Because it's Cincinnati. You expect Cincinnati to come out and eventually get on top, but Jaden Daniels held that game down and he looked amazing. Like what I expected him to be in the future. But he seemed to pull that out last week. Arizona, on the other hand, has been playing good. Not so much against us, but they're a real physical team. Um, I feel like Jaden Daniels has to show that he can do that every week. Uh, because before that, the game before that, they won with 7 field goals. So I'm not sure that's a consistent thing right now. So with that being said, I'm gonna go with Arizona.
Yeah, I'm on Arizona too. It's gonna be my ultimate advice this game. Take the over. That if you want to win some money, take the over definitely on this game. I think it's gonna be a fun game. The Cardinals move the ball well. We saw Washington move the ball last week. Washington's gonna be without Austin Eckler, so you're gonna see a lot of Brian Robinson Jr. But I just feel like this is going to be a high scoring affair, and in a high scoring affair, I just want the quarterback that's more seasoned, that's got more experience. So I'm gonna take Kyler Murray. I feel like Kyler Murray is underrated in his football IQ. So I'm gonna take Arizona as well. New England is going to San Francisco. And San Francisco is given 10.
Wow, dang NFL! Why just underestimate New England? Why don't y'all? Um, huh. If that would make more sense if San Francisco didn't have so many weapons hurt, but Debo is not there. McCaffrey's not there. Kittle didn't play last week. I'm not sure if he's playing this week.
He's on pace to play.
He's on pace to play.
Yeah.
Even with that said, man, I'm not gonna just write off New England like that. They had 2 bad games, but they played very well the first game of the season. 10 points is a lot of points, man. I feel like uh, I feel like New England can cover that spread if they don't flat out win with the money line. So yeah, I'm going New England.
To be honest with you, man, I was gonna go with New England as well, but I got some ground to make up on you. And if you told me I gotta take San Francisco to gain some ground, I'll do that. With New England, my narrative was gonna be that at some point in the game they was gonna turn to Drake May. A lot of people said Drake May been looking real good in practice, and at some point during the season, they anticipate that he will make a start. And I felt like this was going to be the game. I don't know if San Francisco was going to knock Brissett out, or if they were just going to take such a big lead that in the second half they would turn to May. But I still kind of anticipate seeing May in this game. But if you tell me that San Francisco builds just such a big lead and the game is basically over, and at the end of the game they throw May in there, he throws a couple garbage time touchdowns, but they still aren't even close, then I can see that as well. New England is pretty good at stopping the run, so Jordan Mason is going to have a tough time. But even with that being said, though, Jordan Mason is was one of the leading rushers in football right now. So George Kittle coming back. They should have beat the Rams last week, but like I said, they fell apart towards the end. If George Kittle was playing in that game, it might have been a little bit different. So San Francisco at home, I'll take that. Another tough game. KC is going to the LA. LA is getting 7. Let me look at Justin Herbert real quick. Justin Herbert ankle progressing ahead of game. But then there's another one that says Justin Herbert could rest until bye. He's questionable.
Okay. I hate to do this, man. I'm going to go with the Chargers. I'll take the 7 points. Kansas City. You shouldn't bet against Kansas City. This is not a smart thing to do, and I can't even. I don't feel good about doing it. But they've barely won. They're 3-0, but they barely won those 3 games. They haven't really looked all that great. They haven't looked like the championship team that they are. On the other hand, the Chargers have been playing very, very well. Um, uh, Justin Herbert might be hurt, but Romeo Dobbs has been running all over the place. He's been killing the game. Jim Harbaugh has got that running game on all cylinders, and I think they pull this game out.
I agree with your breakdown. I think you could run on Kansas City. Chargers have been hot. Herbert sounds like Herbert's playing. But all that being said, same mentality here. If I got an opportunity to catch up with you on the game and I get Kansas City, I'm taking that all day. Travis Kelce hasn't looked good this season, but the same way that Dallas just goes into New York and just constantly wins, Kansas City just goes and plays the Chargers and constantly wins. So I'm gonna go ahead and take KC. Cleveland is going to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Raiders are giving up 2.5 at home. I'm sorry, they're getting 2.5 at home.
That's an ugly game.
Yeah.
Both of those teams will look bad. I'm gonna take Cleveland in this game only because Las Vegas looks like they have a lot of in-house trouble. It feels like they've got a lot of drama stuff in-house, drama to clean up, and I don't think their mind is going to be on football. I think guys are going to be thinking about, where can I go to? Where can I get traded to? And I think that.
I believe Devontae Adams. I believe Devontae Adams is out.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Is he like hurt, or is he like, I'm not gonna? I don't want to be seen on the field with you guys this week.
Devontae Adams out. Max Crosby doubtful.
Yeah. Like I said, a lot of in-house turmoil going on. I think Cleveland takes that game. Cleveland has not looked good, but I think they have enough in the tank to beat Las Vegas.
Yeah, there's no way in the world I'm taking Vegas without Devontae Adams and Max Crosby. There's no explanation I could give. But, hey, lo and behold, watch next week. Gardner Minshew throws 4 touchdowns, and
Right.
we're talking about a player we never heard of. So it's extremely possible. Right. Buffalo going to Baltimore. Baltimore given 2.5.
So the same thing I said earlier. Usually, Baltimore is a solid pick. They will be the team that I would go with. Um, Super Bowl bound Baltimore. Saying at least AFC. Going to the AFC, but there's something about Baltimore this year that's just not clicking yet. And on the other side of that, Buffalo has been on fire. They look unstoppable right now. Um, I hate to go against my boy Lamar, but I think Buffalo takes this game.
This will almost be one of those games where I would say, hey, if I get Baltimore at home, minus a field goal, I'll take that. But Buffalo, like you said, has been so hot, I can't even do it on this one. I got no problem going against Lamar. I'm with you on Buffalo.
Don't do
uh,
Lamar like that. Don't do Lamar like
Tennessee is going to Miami. Oh, what a game! Miami is giving 1.
Oh man. Um. Ooh. So, do you know if Tyler Huntley is playing for Miami?
Quarterback focus on this. Tyler Huntley gets glowing review from Dolphins QB coach. Huntley could emerge as a starter in Dolphins QB carousel. Assess Tyler's Huntley's potential as starting option at quarterback. A whole lot of we want to put him in there, but we're not ready to is what I'm walking away from this.
So this hurts my soul, man. Um, I am not a Will Levis fan. I do not believe in Will Levis. That being said, as much as I don't believe in Will Levis, I believe in Tim Boyle even less.
Skylar Thompson. I think he's
Uh, uh,
still playing.
okay. Skylar Thompson is playing.
That's, that's what they got him at now. He's starting.
Oh man, I don't have any. I'm gonna go with Miami.
Um, yeah, this was one of those games that's a toss up, and
Right.
talk it can go either way. And in them games, I'm just taking the. I'll take. I can't even say I'm taking Will Levis. The Tennessee Titans defense has been Tennessee Titans defense has been really good, and their offense has done nothing to reward them for that. And I just feel like at some point it's going to pay off. Against a backup quarterback, it should, but I wouldn't be surprised if Miami wins this game. But I'm gonna go ahead and take Tennessee.
Yeah, you might win. Anybody could win. They
Anybody
don't even
can.
have to play the. They don't even have to play the game. They could just go out on the middle of the field, and whoever wins the coin toss wins the game.
Well, then how is Will Levis going to throw an interception? The game don't start until Will Levis throws an interception. All right, last game of the week. Seattle coming to Detroit. Detroit giving 3.5.
All right, so I went back and forth on this game, and you always told me don't bet with my heart. You know what I'm saying? So I came into this game with all the injuries, and I was like, At first, this is a revenge game because we haven't beat them in 3 years. So I was like, we got to win this game. But then with everybody hurt, I was thinking, I don't know if we can win this game with a crippled defense like we have. But you talked me off the ledge earlier. Seattle is more hurt than we are. It is a revenge game. We're gonna be wearing the black unis. Um, we Detroit takes this game.
Oh, I was going into this game the same as you, worried about the injuries, but I was worried about more than just the injuries. It's a Monday Night Football game, and against any other opponent, I think that would be huge. And while it is a big factor, I go back to last year. I believe it was a 4 o'clock game, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been a 1 o'clock game. I don't know, but whatever it was, Seattle came in here, and that crowd was rocking. Now, granted, it wasn't a prime time Monday Night Football game, so it's going to be even louder than it was last year. But with that being said, the Seahawks got the ball first, and I believe they just marched downfield, and it was a back and forth game all day. But the Seahawks just, they matter of fact they got the ball first in overtime and won the game like that. But all that being said, Seattle has 3 great receivers. Geno Smith is a good quarterback. Geno Smith can move. I talked about Kyler Murray last week. I said at some point Kyler Murray kind of stops running. Like he runs to keep the drive going, and he runs to create for his receivers to get open. But at some point he kind of, I don't know, he just kind of naturally stops running. Geno Smith don't have that problem. Geno Smith will run if you continue to allow him to run. And we still have to show that we can stop that because it was kind of like once back to Carlton Davis. Once Carlton Davis made that stop on that 4th down and knocked Kyler Murray out, Kyler kind of seemed like he stopped running. So
Oh yeah, one of my other factors is like you said, we play amazing on prime time on prime time TV. Not the SOL Lions, but the brand new Lions play amazing on primetime TV.
I don't know if I would use the word amazing, but we do tend to win. I would use that. I would say that we do tend to win on primetime football. It seems like it's always amazing would make me feel like we blow people out, and generally
Oh
our
no
goal.
no no.
Yeah. What I'm saying, we playing amazing. The Commanders played amazing on Monday Night Football last week against Cincinnati.
I,
But yeah,
I feel like I feel like the Lions have a policy against blowing teams out. I mean, we reach a certain point, and then we kind of be like, that's enough.
they pulled up. They brought up Allen Robinson. So now we got Allen Robinson in the fold. Tim Patrick, Laporta seems on pace to play. St. Brown, J-Mo. It should be a fun game, and I would love the Lions to. I would love the Lions to cover. I would love it to be a blowout and just get that Seattle monkey off our backs. But I just can't count out Seattle's offense. And like I said, the defense, the Lions are right in the middle of the pack of giving up passing yards, and Seattle can definitely air the ball out. It's an indoor game, and Seattle is hot right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and take Seattle.
I can't be mad at you, man. I was there this morning.
Now I feel you. It's a lot of injuries, so their defense is gonna be. I think their defense is gonna be bad, and I think it's gonna be a continuation of what we always see. The Lions haven't always showed up, but they definitely did last year. Their offense as well as from that perspective. So I think it's gonna be another shootout. This is another game where if you take the over, this will be my second. If like I said, the Washington and Arizona is my number one on the over. Seattle and Detroit would definitely be number two.
My last point is we haven't seen the Lions play a great game of offense this year. But what I have seen is them steadily improving with each game. And I'm not gonna say I expect them to see them on all cylinders this game, but I expect to see improvement over last week. And if they can do that, I think they can pull it out. I mean, Jared Goff started off 12 or 12 last week. If he can improve upon that, I think we got something going.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was kind of interested to see what the Lions look like if they were missing one of their weapons. When I thought Laporta wasn't going to play, I kind of thought that we would see. I thought it would be pretty straightforward. You know, you would see maybe like 100 yards to St. Brown, 100 yards to JMO, and I was kind of excited to see that. But Laporta is going to play, and on top of that, you bring up another receiver in Allen Robinson, so I don't know where he's going to fit in there. So we're
I
back
doubt
to.
we barely see him.
Oh,
I
I don't
doubt
feel.
I doubt we barely see him.
I don't feel that way. I guess when you say barely see him, what do you mean? Like he'll be out there for like 3 snaps and we won't even know he was out there, or
Yeah, not no role that Khalif used to play.
you
You know
cut
what
out.
I'm saying?
You cut out. You say again.
I think that he'll play the role that Khalif used to play. You know, Khalif will come on the field every now and then. You will see him, but the main receivers was Reynolds, uh, Laporta, and Saint last year. I think this year it'll be Laporta, J-Mo, and Saint. And from you'll see Tim Patrick and and Robinson sprinkled in here and there.
Over under receptions for. I don't want to go receptions or targets. I say reception. I'll just say receptions. Over under receptions for Tim Patrick, Allen Robinson, and Khalif Raymond. Over under 4.5 combined.
That's what it is, or
That's what
that's what you think.
that's what I'm asking. Just that's what I made
Oh,
up.
under,
Under.
under.
Okay. If it's under, then I'll be happy.
Yeah, I think it's under. Um, Tim Patrick had like 3 targets. What last week? Um, it was either 2 or 3. I think he caught like one of them. I think that continues.
Okay. If that continues, then I think that will bode well for the Lions offense.
It seems like Khalif. They only use Khalif if they get in if they get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? They'll pull out a play for Khalif. So I'll say David Robinson is his first week. He might get 1 target. Tim Patrick will probably be about the same as last year, about 2, and Khalif may get one catch. So I give it about 3 at the most.
Nah, if that happens, I still whatever. Like I don't know why they're bringing up Allen Robinson is how I feel, but I would imagine if they're bringing him up, it's for a reason. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, with that being said, man, I think that's all I got for today. Did we do our picks for? I mean, do we do our picks for Monday night? Was that all the Monday night games?
Yeah, Lions and Miami, 2 Monday night games.
Oh, okay, okay. Did you want to do Thursday night, or you want to say that for next week?
We can say that for next week because I don't think it's a line out for that.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, with that being said, man, I think that's all I got for right now.
All right, man. Until next time.
We can we can come out and see what these Lions do, man. Hopefully, I'm right and you're wrong, and we celebrating a victory going into the bye. So interested to see what we pull off. But with that being said, till next time, go Lions. Peace. Detroit.